Good evening everyone and welcome to TTG Mini League number 2, the America Series. We are starting off in Mexico and Brazil. This is the Mexico race, of course, round 1, and we will be running through both races on this live stream. And for those of you who are tuning in and don't know me, I am JamesHead14. I will be your commentator this evening for the two races. Following me up at 8:30 will be Mini League 1, where VSR obviously are going to be competing. TTG main teams are going to be competing there as well. And that's going to be commentated on by Nexus Jack Fox. But for now, you have me in your company, and this is my first solo commentary for TTG, so if it all goes wrong, then I do apologise in advance. But I'm very excited. I know a couple of the drivers here so far tonight. We've got Scuba, obviously, I know him, as well as Matt Tebos, Matt32575. I know the TTG guys, obviously. Everyone else I'm a bit unsure on, but hopefully we will be able to see them on course, of course, out on track tonight. We've got one shot qualifying to begin off with, and Mexico is the first race tonight at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, and following, of course, will be Brazil at Interlagos. So buckle up, because it's going to be an hour and a half of great action going on tonight here in TTG Mini League 2. And I, for one, I can't wait to have a look. Go TMC, Darkbolt joining in already. Now, I will try and remain as unbiased as possible to the team, because obviously I'm a TTG commentator and I'm assigned to them. But I'm really hoping and praying that we get some good action out on track. I am a bit of a stickler for perfection, so if I do see any moves, like unfair moves out on track, I will make sure it is caught up and broadcast on stream, because I can't let my opinion get in the way of what driving I see out on track. So hopefully everyone is on board with that. Hashtag CPL, hashtag TMC in the chat, hashtag TTG in there as well, I think, and hashtag CF1V. Nearly mispronounced their name there, but I can't wait. I think that's Campeonatos Racing, that team, if I recall. We do have a late replacement, by the way. Recon is not racing in this. We've got Plaster racing for TTG instead. He was his first reserve, so he's going to be racing for us tonight. From the Nexus guys, let me take you through the running order of the drivers out on track. Clone Pursuit. Who else is there for Nexus? Nino, and there is somebody else for Nexus, but I don't know who it is, and I think they're only on 3. CPL, and I know Lewis is here, and I know him very well from the league I run, of course. But we've got Amir, we have got Lewis, we've got Casper, who I know quite well from AZR, and we have, of course, got Pete, who are going to be on the CPL thingy. Right, I think we're just waiting for one more Nexus driver to join, and then we're done. I'm just going to turn off my notifications, though, in a minute, because there is another league going on at the same time that I was going to commentate for, but I have stepped into the breach because this wouldn't have been streamed, and, of course, this wouldn't have been put on if there was no stream, of course. So I'm here filling in the void tonight going forward, and I will also be here next week for the other two races, which I will come on to probably at the end of the stream. But I think we're just waiting for one more Nexus driver to join, and then we can go. That is, of course, make sure you get your comments in. I am going to be trying to keep on top of the stream and on commentary, of course, at the same time. So what I'll probably do is check after one shot quali, check after the race, and then put some feedback in of how you think the stream's going, of how you think the commentary's going, how you think the driving standards have been. I want to hear your opinions in that stream tonight. And of course, if if the wider F1 community does want to watch us tonight, share out the link, share it out, because this might go wrong, this might go correct, but who knows. Anyways, I think people are now starting to ready up. I'm not sure if we are going yet, but the stream's up anyways, from our point of view. So stream is up, everything is fine and dandy. Let me just check through the thingy. Shouldn't they be ready now? They're 5 minutes late. Exactly, they are 5 minutes late. It's obviously Nexus. I think we're just missing somebody. I know one driver that was supposed to be racing in round 2, I think is going to be Nexus Dragon. He's going to be replacing one of the Nexus drivers. I'm not sure if it's him we're waiting on, but I do recall, I think he's commentating in the other league that I'm commentating on, but obviously if he's needed here. And I want to see him race because he is... I'm very, very close to him. But, anyways, yeah, I mean, I can't... I don't know what the delay is. I'm just a commentator, I get... I don't get paid, but... Yeah. Right, let me have a look at what is going on. I'll share the link out as well onto... thingy. Nexus are useless. Nexus are useless. Of course, they have been in the news as of late for a certain David Wallbank, who I've known quite well because I run a league which used to have him in. He doesn't compete with us now. He's been out for a couple of months now. But let's just gloss over the fact that we had bad driving from him there. And let's focus on the guys here tonight, because this is going to be really interesting. I think we are all now ready to go. Just getting ready. Of course, one-shot quali. I will try and commentate on one person for one-shot quali, because fiddling about on bloody... when one-shot quali is going is not my forte at all. So I'll try and commentate on one person's lap out on track, and then, of course, the race. Hopefully we don't have any major crashes like I have seen in Mexico in my league racing career. But we move on. Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez here. Traditionally, this is the 4th last round of the championship in F1 in real life. I think it's either the 4th last or the 3rd last championship. So the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. 19 drivers out on track. Nexus are down to 3. Everyone else is on 4. TTG, CPL, CF1V, and the other team, which has eluded me right at this moment, because obviously we are now loading into the lobby. And it is a dry qualifying session here. So we've got GP1, CPL, CF1V, TMC was the other one. TMC. So let me get you up the telemetry, the lap data, the detail. Of course, that is the big aspect of my commentary. You will see what happens out on track. And with one Ferrari missing, one Nexus driver missing, who was supposed to take up the Ferrari. I do believe it was either Brookie or Glock that was supposed to take it up. I think they've both left Nexus, but whoever was supposed to fill in obviously hasn't turned up, so somebody might be getting a bit of a bollocking later on from their team. But we come into qualifying. Let's ride on board with somebody that I haven't commentated on before. CF1V Marcos in the Sauber. Let's see what he does. He is an Argentinian driver, and he's running down the straight now. You can reach in excess of about 210, 215 mile an hour down the straight. Let's see what he can do running down the straight. Of course, I'm very wary that Matt Tipos and Scuba could probably go pole, from what I've been aware anyways, coming into this. Coming through turns 1, 2 and 3 there, very nice, and it looks like CPL are dominating currently. Amir Lewis and Matt Tibos up there. TMC getting one driver in the top 5. Bertier and Scuba just in behind. Marcos, who I'm on board with, however, is well down in 15th place, and seems to be that the CF1V guys are really struggling. Pepe doing best out of those 3 out of those 4 at the minute, and Tioxe has retired from the session as well, and Marcos, I think, could be ending up in the same opinion. Yep, he's given up on his laps. Let's go on board with Scuba then. In the meantime, he's 5th currently in the Renault, the Irishman, who of course won, if you don't know, for my league anyways, he won TFRL A-League Round Britain. And I'd go and check out that race if you want. Amir, Pete, Scuba on the run to the line. Amir goes quick as that by a real big margin there. A 13.5 for Amir. Really, really striking performance there. Pete is 2nd and Scuba is best of the TMC guys in 3rd. So we've got a right mix there in the top 10, I think. And certainly going down the field. I think we have 4 or 5 drivers disqualified from the session. But as we come into the end of qualifying, Amir has got pole position from Pete in 2nd, the Welshman. Scuba is in 3rd, 2 thousandths ahead of Casper. Very, very tight times there. 14.535 and a 14.537 from them two. Birche, TMC, 2 drivers in the top 5 there. Nexus are in behind with Nexus Clone and Nexus Pursuit. Then Race Driver P1 2015, TTG Sean and CF1V Pepe, with TTG Alan K, TTG Maze, CF1V Natural Tour, Tioxe, Plaster, Nino, Matt Tibos, CF1V Marcos and Lewis right down at the bottom. So it will be interesting. It is a 25% race, of course. You're only going to be expecting a 1-stop strategy as opposed to a 2-stop strategy round here normally in a 50% race, which is what most leagues run nowadays. Again, it is a dry qualifying session, a dry race session I should say. But coming into this, it is very exciting. 16 viewers on the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully everyone is enjoying the stream so far. Let me check on board with some of the comments in the meantime, while we load, of course, into the formation lap, I do believe. Go Matt, TMC, plenty of love for TMC, plenty of love for Scuba as well in the comment section. Of course, keep your comments coming in if you do want to get in touch. Ask me some questions if you want. It's up to you. I mean, I'm here to commentate and I'll try and keep on top of things, of course. But I think we've got a formation lap on. I hope we have. Yes, we do. We've got a formation lap on. So Amir, Pete and Scuba lead off the line, off the grid. And I'm going to go for a top 3 like I normally do in my commentaries. I'm going to go for a bit of a top 3 here. And I am going to go for, based on what I've seen in that one-shot qualifying session, I'm going to go for Scuba for the win. I'm going to go for Casper 2nd, and for a bit of a wild one, I'm going to go Lewis for 3rd. He's starting on the Hypersofts there at the bottom. Running through the tyre strategies, Sean on a set of Ultrasofts there in 9th, the only one on the top 10 to be qualifying on the Ultrasofts, after one-shot qualifying, of course. The rest on Hypers, that's Amir, Pete, Scuba, Casper, Birche, Clone, Pursuit, Race Driver, and Pepe. So 9 out of the top 10 on Hypersofts. The only ones on Ultras in the bottom 9 are Nino, Matt Tibos, and Marcos. Everyone else, so that is Alan K, Maze, Natural Tour, Tioxe, Plaster, and Lewis, who are going to be on the Hypersoft compound of tyre. And the Hypersofts normally last around 4, 5, 6 laps around here before they really start to degrade. Ultrasofts, if you're Sean, for example, or Matt Tibos, or Nino, or Marcos, then I'd definitely be trying to go at least to about lap 10, I would say, for the Ultrasofts. That's my personal opinion on things. Everyone else, of course, have got different strategies. And we will see, going down into turn 1, who will get the run of the race and who will win in Mini League 2. And of course, the point scoring system, 25, 22 and 20 are the top 3 positions. Everyone that is competing here will get at least 2 points minimum, as there's only 19 drivers here. So 25, 20, 25, 22, 20, 18, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12 and 11. That's the top 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2 for the 19 drivers out on track. So that's the point system as we are about to load in, hopefully, There's a yellow flag already, but 5 red lights though are about to go out for Mini League. Round 1 here. Oh, and Clone's jumped the start, so is Plaster, and it's lights out and away we go. And Clone does right, not goes ahead of the field, but Amir gets a very good start. Scuba in the background though, trying to get him on the run down into turn 1. Everyone taking it quite cautiously, which is good to see. The backfield I'm more concerned about. Amir though went to turn 1. Scuba around the outside of Pete. Looking okay in the background there. I think there was a little bit of contact. Might have been Nino just caught in a little bit of contact. Dropping down a couple of positions. I think Maze has been caught up in something as well. But Amir has got a real break off the start. Pete trying to go up down the inside of Scuba. Not quite. And Amir leads. As we see a mid-pack battle going on. The 2-4 Cindy's. Race Drive and Birchie. Natural Tour. Matt Tibos as well going side by side. Matt Tibos now up to 10th. Making good headway through the field. Let's have a look at the position changes at the minute. So there we go. We do really see Matt Tibos's go through the field. 7 positions gained there as the 2 Nexus drivers have gained 2 positions for 4th, fighting it out. And Casper has dropped 2 positions. Everyone, 3 wide on the background. Nino, Natural Tour and Lewis, I think that is, going into the stadium section. A little bit over aggressive. Williams nearly in the wall. That was Natural Tour, the Spaniard. Nino going around the outside of Lewis. But out in front, Amir leads the way from Scuba in 2nd, Pete in 3rd, Pursuit, Clone is in to serve as drive-through. So Amir leads by 5.5 tenths running down the stretch. Scuba trying to get in the slipstream. He won't be close enough for an overtake in the meantime. However, I think somebody that's close enough for an overtake is Race Driver trying to go around the outside of Sean. Race Driver is going around the outside of Sean. Down the inside now into turn 2. Lovely move. Race Driver gets him. Oh, and there's contact on the background. Matt Tibos and Birchie, 2 TMC drivers having a little bit of contact. Maybe just getting a little bit too heated in the early stages between them 2. Everyone else though is through safely, and apart from Clone pitting, everyone else is through safely. So Amir leads, Scuba in 2nd. Let's watch this battle for the lead unfold. Peter's pulled away quite comprehensively in 3rd from Pursuit, has gained 2.5 seconds just under on him. So Amir and Scuba just getting caught wide on the apex there. We see a little bit of battling going on further down the field. Matt Tibos is getting close to Sean, I think. Let's just ride on board with this. Going into the stadium section, could go for an undercut, gets caught on the curb. Sean, Matt Tibos trying to go down the inside a little bit late on the brakes. Oh, and that's Lewis going up the inside of Birchie, so CPL. Oh, and there's contact between them 2. Birchie and Lewis. I think Birchie got caught on the rear end of Lewis's car. Lewis gets sent for a spin and has dropped down to 16th, which is quite unfortunate. Nino and Birchie, though, in the background are making position gains. I think Birchie was the one, of course, that was contacted in that. Let's go back to the battle for the lead, however. Scuba and Amir really trying to get going. 5.5 tenths still. Gap just fluctuating a little bit. Speeding in the pit lane. Plaster 5 seconds stop go. Not really great there from the TTG reserve. But Amir leads. Scuba in 2nd. Everyone else spread themselves out a little bit as we come into thingy. Sean and Matt just changing positions there. Matt trying to go for a 10th position gain in 3 laps, and he's really made eye-catching progress through the field. And he has made that move stick, has Matt Tibos, and he's got up the inside of Sean to get that move done. 7 tenths the gap though. Amir, Scuba looking very nice indeed as they come into the stadium section, and that's Pete off in the background. Pete off in the background of shot front wing sent flying out of the S section. He's done well to get out of the way. Pursuit has gone ahead of Casper. Race Driver as well going around the outside, so Pete will have to pit and probably going for a set of softs, I think, to the end, if I was to be honest. And he is keeping out of the way. He's got Nexus Nino on his inside. He's trying to get into the pit lane, and he will come into the pits now. That has just brought everyone back into the swing of things. Sean's trying to close up on Matt Tibos, though, in the meantime. And in fact, Casper and Pursuit, 3rd and 4th. Casper's gone around the outside now, as Sean trying to look for Matt Tibos in the background. So Casper's got the move done. Pursuit is in 4th now. Matt Tibos holding off Sean. A little bit of a trend developing. Nino and Birchie in behind going well. Pete and Tioxe are both in the pits. Battle for the lead is still 3.5 tenths. And we'll come back on board with battle for lead, actually, as that is Amir, who is just getting close in now by Scuba, and he's right on the back of him here is Scuba. Can the Irishman do it? I think the last time I saw an Irishman win, or him win, was of course in TF Royal from my point of view. Obviously he's probably won races before that. But Amir leads 0.6 of a second. So currently CPL are doing quite well here. They've got 2 of their drivers at least in the top 5. In fact, it's in the top 3. It's Pursuit and Matt Tibbles come close to a bit of contact. Look at that train developing though. Pursuit is holding up a bit of a train here. Matt Tibbles, is he coming in the pits? Yes, he is. So he's into the pits, and I think that was Bircher coming in behind as well. Scuba now on Amir. Going down into turn 1, not quite. Not quite close enough for a move there was Scuba. However, Nino, Sean and Matt Tibbles running down the straight. Can Nino go up the inside? A little bit of contact, there's a little bit of desync going on there, I think. Nino's connection not really that great. Hopefully it's not my connection. It's definitely Nino's connection, but Amir Lil leads the way. 0.3 of a second, Scuba second at the minute. A little bit of action going on further down. It's between the TTG guys, Maze and Alan K. Is Alan K going to try and go up the inside? Not quite. Don't think he would have wanted to risk hitting off his boss there. But everyone comes through the triple right-hander nicely. Let's cut on board with Battle League, because this is really getting going now. Amir and Scuba. It's always been around 0.4. Maybe they're just sticking to their plans at the minute. One will force the other into the pits, I think, here, if I have to be honest. As they're not coming into the pits this lap. Lap 6 out of 18 just about to begin. And Amir and Scuba, is he close enough for a move? Let's take an onboard shot now. The Irishman closing in on Amir. Is he close enough? He's using up ERS mode 3. Got about 40% left into turn 1. Going around the outside now on Amir. Now on the inside into turn 2. Scuba's got him. Scuba's got him into the lead. And Amir realised the danger there. He was alongside him. Scuba gets the move done. And it's really nice stuff from Scuba on Amir. And he gets the lead of the race. And TMC fans will be going absolutely mental in the background as Lewis and Pepe have just passed each other. Oh, and look at this battle actually. Oh, there's been contact. Alan K and Nacho Tor, I think that was. Bit of contact there. Not sure if Pepe was involved either. Going around the outside, CF1. Oh, was that Pepe trying to dive down the inside of Alan K there in the background? Yeah, they're side by side, just in the background of shot. Looking good so far, everyone. Out on track, which is good to see. Nino trying to get close, very, very close through the S section. Lovely helicopter cam as they come through the S section. Nacho Tor picks up a 3-second time penalty. Pete getting passed by Pursuit. And it's Nino going around the outside of Sean into the stadium section. He is. Now down the inside, the Welshman. Next is Nino. Down the inside, he's got him. Beautiful move at the stadium section. Goes past Sean quite nicely. Amir is in. He was struggling on those tyres, on those Hypersofts. And he's into the pits. And let's get the stops up actually, because everyone bar Plaster in the bottom half of the field have one stopped. So that's 14th down to 19th, excluding Plaster, of course. Amir has now came in. Sean going past Nino though, down the straight. Got back past him. Oh, and just a little bit too aggressive. Nino, Sean, lovely. Nice stuff there. Good respect between those two, which is good to see. Sean and Nexus Nino. They might be in different esports teams, but they know how to drive. And Sean, I think, with DRS just pulling away there from Nino, running into... Oh, a little bit of contact on the back end, I think. Not sure if that was a bit of lag, but Nino corrects his car. And Sean and Nino get battling. There's not really much going on in behind. I think Pete is getting close to Nexus Pursuit, and he is. He's got the DRS open. Let's go for an onboard shot. He's on a set of super softs to the end. Of course, he has one stopped already, and he's round the outside, and he's got him, I think. Pursuit on the outside line, turning into him. A little bit too aggressive again. Lewis is just sitting there waiting to be let through, I think, by Pete, and I think that is exactly what they're going to do. Team orders ensued there, and Lewis has gone ahead of Pete. Good to see team orders. I think Lewis definitely is the quicker driver at the minute. Scuba, by the way, is into the pits from the lead, as is Casper. Matt Tibos now leads the way for TMC. Scuba in second, Nino and Sean coming past the pit lane. They're on the left-hand side of the track. Where is Amir? Scuba coming out the pits. Amir is battling and he's jumped him. Amir has undercut. He has undercut Scuba. And Amir has undercut Scuba by about 2 seconds. 1.5, 2 seconds roughly. So Amir has got the jump, really quick outlap, and he's got the jump on him, and he's passed Alan K and in the meantime as well running down the stretch. Sean trying to get close to Nino though in the foreground of shot. Looking quite good. Everyone bar Top three, Alan Kay and Marcos, and Plas now into the pits as well. So 5 only still to pit in this race, and has just sort of calmed down a little bit. Matt Tibbles picked up a 3-second time penalty. That must have been through the S section at the left-hander, if I was to guess myself. I'm not a betting man. Well, I am. Amia's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be costly. Scuba now on the back of Alan Kay, running down into the braking zone, into the stadium section, trying to go around the outside here. Oh, and he has, and Scuba, that is a beautiful move. That is sensational stuff from the Irishman. Scuba has got ahead of Alan Kay, and he gets the move done, and he's up to 5th place, and he's now into net second, of course, after passing Alan Kay, and I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Kay comes in the pits. There he is on the left-hand side of the screen, coming into the pits. Berche and Marcos, they're both have pitted. Marcos hasn't pitted yet, actually, and Berche actually is going to be running in a strong net P3, I think, if he gets past Marcos here, running down the straight. Left-hand side of the track, as you see. Now on the right-hand side, now on the left-hand side, and he's got the move done. Berche past Marcos, pure overspeed down the straight, and Berche has got the move done, and he's up to 6th place out on track. But I think that is net 3rd now. Possibly, if Matt Tibos comes into the pits next lap, I think he could be out in 3rd, to be honest. But of course, pit lane around here, about 20-21 seconds, I think, is the pit stop average around here. 22 viewers, by the way. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the action as Amir tries to get past Sean. Not sure if he was catching up a little bit too quick there to Sean. But running into, as Nino has retired. Oh, as he crashed just in behind there. Oh, there's contact! Sean and Amir, net code! Amir! Unfortunate. What on earth happened there? Sean is going to be absolutely furious with that. And Amir, the race leader, the net race leader, I'm not sure what happened there, but I think it looked like more of a net code or tap on the back end. Amir, Scuba, now for P1. That is controversial. That could be investigated after this, I think. Amir and Scuba. Now, Matibos, I think, is going to be coming out in around 6th place. By the way, if he comes into the pit, and Marcos is obviously going to be dropping down, so it'll be about 5th place then. But real drama as Casper goes past Marcos quite easily down the straight. Not really much going on in behind. Pepe and Nacho Tor are getting quite close. Pete actually in pursuit are getting quite close. This mid-pack battle now unfolding. Pete round the outside for GP1, for CP1 I should say. And he's got the move done on pursuit. Nice move, nice respect. He's on a set of supers, and he will try and get those to the end. And Pete is past pursuit. A little bit of a weave going on down the straight. Classic if you try and want to get Slipstream, of course, and DRS. Well, Pete fending off the attentions now of pursuit, and he just looks about a couple of tenths quicker on a natural lap around here in Mexico. Pursuit has got Maze behind him, and Maze has got Clone behind him. So Nexus holding fort at the minute in 9th and 11th. Nino has left. Nacho Toll picks up a 3-second time penalty. So the mid-pack battle now just unfolding. Maze catching up to Pursuit. Definitely looking quicker than him. Clone is looking quicker than both of them, though. Bit of a lock-up there from Pete going into the stadium section. Just losing a little bit of time. Lewis has gone past Marcos, who I do believe is into the pits. Marcos is into the pits, slows it down very nicely. Doesn't want to catch a 5-second stop goal to be added on at the end of his time. But this three-way battle now for what will be 8th place out on track is Pursuit, Maze and Clone, with I think that is Pepe trying to get involved in the background as well, as Clone now lines up Maze. Can he go past both of them as well? Down the inside, is he going to try it? He's going to try and get past Maze. Maze will hold fort down the inside. A little bit of contact. Maze did well there to not contact him, actually. I think it was a bit of a dodgy camera angle, but Clone has passed him, and Clone has gone past Maze, and that is for 9th place. And of course, just to remind that this is not the traditional F1 points layout as it is. I will, of course, recap the point system in the mid-break, and we will be seeing, and that'll be my time to go and get a drink, of course. As Matt Tibos has finally relinquished the lead, he's into the pits. We see this onboard action, though, with Clone and Maze. Maze still trying to get him, just getting caught on the inside there. Looking on beautiful helicopter shot here. Lewis has picked up a 3-second time penalty. So that was, I think, at the final corner. Pete now coming back to Pursuit, it seems, as well. and everyone just falling through. This could all develop up from 7th down to 14th. This could all develop up if everyone wants to close up. Speaking of closing up, Lewis down the inside on Matt Tibos, who just came out the pits in 5th, trying to hold 4 down the inside. And Matt Tibos holds on to 5th place. Lewis just getting caught in the curb there and losing a little bit of time on the AstroTurf. On the green stuff, Maze and Clone running through nicely. A little bit wide there from Pursuit in the foreground of shot. The Ferrari, the sole Ferrari for Nexus, out on track. Now Maze is going to try and go down the inside on Clone. He doesn't want to try and bomb it. Natural Tour and Alan Kay are battling in the background. Alan Kay trying to go all the way around the outside. Natural Tour just coming across him. Might need to be investigated. He's taking a wide outline to try and defend the position. It's just a little bit too sketchy, if I've got to be honest. So Natural Tour holds on to Alan Kay, but of course I think driving standards might just have to be investigated by a couple of people. The majority though doing really well out on track. Plaster picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's running down in 16th, but of course all points count. So even if you are Nino, you will be getting 2 points going into this next race, which of course is Brazil. After this, Namiya and Scuba running through nicely. Battle for lead beginning to heat up again. Scuba's closing on Namiya. He looks the quicker driver on pace. It's just whether he can close in enough. The remaining 5 laps of this race. Pepe and Maze are getting going down the straight, I think. Clone and thingy, Alan Kay and Natural Tour. Alan Kay's gone past Natural Tour around the outside. Very nice stuff indeed. Race driver as well, trying to get involved in this, the Force India. Looking very good indeed. Is Pursuit trying to close in on Pete as well? Pursuit and Clone getting very, very close. Pete, Pursuit, Clone separated by about a second here. So the Haas leading the Ferrari and the Mercedes at the minute as race drivers trying to get close to Natural Tour there in the background. In fact, he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. And Natural Tour picks up a 3-second time penalty there for track limits as well. So both fighting a little bit too aggressively. I think they're just in behind this battle actually. Yes, they are. They're just in behind this, but I see the battle for lead developing again. And Amir and Scuba now, DRS in operation. Scuba trying to get Amir down the straight they go into the end of the first sector, now into the start of the middle sector. Casper closing in on Birchie as well. CPL trying to make it a 1-3 and Red Bull 1-3 as well, I may add. But Amir and Scuba has had the trump cards at the minute and they've dominated so far. Birchie and Casper, of course, anything can happen. Still, as we've seen with contact between Sean and Amir, which I hope will be investigated after this, of course. And I think the points total will be out later on tonight as well. Casper getting very close to Birchie, running down the straight. As we approach lap 15, out on track. And Amir leads from Scuba in second, Birchie in third, Casper in fourth. Kioxe is retired from the race. That must have been a retirement. He was sitting down at the back. He would have been getting 17th, I think, anyways. But running down the straight, Scuba's getting close. He's not getting close enough, though. Running in ERS mode 3. Three-wheel battle for third now starting to develop. Matt Tipos is getting onto the back of Casper and Birchie. So a TMC sandwich beginning to happen. And TMC actually is quite dominant so far in terms of the points. And I think they're going to be leading this first round. Looking at it, Scuba and Birchie and Matt Tibos. So 3 TMC drivers filling out the top 5 positions. And I think their other driver is a race driver, I do believe. As Clone and Pursuit, I think, swap positions down the straight. Clone gets past Pursuit. Oh, something's happened to Birchie. Birchie's lost positions. Matt Tibos has gone past him, and Matt Tibos now is trying to get Casper. Missed that. Sorry for missing that. But Birchie has been passed by Matt Tibos. And do you know what? I think that was a bit more team tactics, to be honest. Matt Tibos clearly the quicker driver, clearly on the quicker strategy. And he's closing in on Casper as they approach the stadium section once again. 3 laps to go as we approach. Scuba and Amir getting going now. 4/10 of a second. He's just a little bit flat, but look at the ERS on Scuba, he's closing in, he's closing in, he's closing in. He could go for it, but I think he's going to leave it last 2 laps to try and get that move done and try and get the win. Matt Tibos is very close to Casper as well. Birchie is dropping down and is vulnerable to Lewis in the background of shot. Matt Tibos now past Casper and Lewis past Birchie as well. So TMC now dropping down at the top 5. And CPL now beginning to get into it with Casper, Amir and Lewis, as Casper's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. I think there was a bit of a wide track extension there from him in the background of shot. Clone and Pursuit, still that little mid-pack battle going on, but I think what we all want to focus on is this battle for the lead. Scuba just losing a little bit of time now, and he might have just lost a little bit too much. I know he's on 94% of ERS, but he's just gaining out of that second now. He's got to try and up the ante a little bit. He's now just outside that second mark, and it's really not great for him. Scuba has got to try a little bit harder to get within. Thinking DRS line is there, and he's just within, and he's 9/10 off. Last 2 laps is going to be crucial. Amir is hanging on, but I think Scuba can pretty much go at any minute. Is he going to settle for second and try and get the win in the next race? Who knows? But I would love to see a last lap battle, and I think everyone would love to see a last lap battle here tonight. Amir and Scuba have provided a bit of a show out on track. I think that's Plaster they're approaching as well, so Plaster will have to get out of the way. He's been doing well, he's in 16th, he's had a very lonely race in the Toro Rosso, but he will be picking up some valuable points for TTG. As now Scuba begins to up the ante. Look at him closing in 4/10 of a second as they come through the midway through the middle sector. Midway through the middle sector they go. Lewis has gone past Casper. I think that was team orders there. Matebos not got enough left, and Scuba 3-second time penalty. Now, is that going to be crucial or not? Plaster could get involved in this as well. He's got to get out of the way. He can see these cars coming. He should get out of the way here. And he's holding everyone up. Oh, and the leaders just held up. Amir was held up there, and Scuba's been given a fighting chance as we approach the last lap. Amir, oh my God! Jesus Christ, he was cutting the pit lane. That needs to be investigated, surely. Amir and Scuba running down the straight. Here he comes. Scuba's going to go waltzing past around the outside. Amir's trying to cut him across him. But Scuba's got the move done, and Scuba, the Irishman, is into the lead. Here on the final lap, Mays picks up a 3-second time penalty. Amir tries it down the inside. He saw a gap, very opportunistic. Scuba now and Amir side by side running down the straight. This is the only real opportunity they can do it in the first sector. Scuba and Amir running down the straight. He could go for it, diving down the inside. The gap is closing though, and Scuba will hang on through the middle sector. And I think now Scuba has got this. He's beginning to pull away. Amir's got 19% of EOS left. Scuba's got double that amount. He's got 40% just under left. 5.5 that gap is extending, and Scuba, I think, might just pull this off on penalties. However, it might be a different story. Scuba, Amir, 3/10. Amir is really trying hard. He's trying to come back for CPL. He wants this win. But the Irishman now into the stadium section. This is the only opportunity he can do it. Amir, and he's going to have to back off. He's still there. He could go for it in the last corner, but Scuba defends the inside line. He's hanging on for grim life. Scuba's going to come across the line and first. Have a look at the penalties, though. Scuba has won. Scuba wins from Amir in Mexico. Matt Tibos, TMC, will be pleased with that first result. Matt Tibos is going to come across the line in third. Good performance from him. He was fifth. Lewis, Casper coming across the line with Birchie. Keep an eye on the penalties. Casper and Birchie jump Lewis on penalties. Pete now coming across the line in 7th. They're coming around the stadium section now in 7th. There's Clone. There's that mid-pack battle that was on about going round. Clone leading that through. Pete the Welshman is going to come across the line in 7th. Good drive from him. Clone, Pepe, race driver, a whole host of drivers now coming across the line. Pepe jumps up to 7th, and plenty of penalties. We're going to have to devolve this, of course, after in the race results. Marcos and Nacho Tor have struggled in this Grand Prix, however. Marcos across the line in 14th, just behind Mays, and Nacho Tor is going to be finishing in 15th as well. But Scuba takes the first win here in Mini League 2 for TTG Mini League. And Nacho Tor across the line in 15th, just finishing off the results there. Little bit of frame drop, but thank God it was at the end of the race and not during. But that is the first race over. That is Mexico complete. And there is the podium celebrations. 2 Renaults and a Ferrari. 2 Renaults and a Red Bull, sorry, I should say. On top, there's Araver. You don't want to have a look at him for sure. But it's Scuba who lifts the trophy here in Mexico. With Amir, who fought to the death there to try and get him. He knew he had same time penalties as him. He tried to go for the move into the stadium section. Didn't quite pull off. And ended up playing second best to what was an awesome performance by Scuba. Matt Tibos, of course, can't be denied in third as well. And those are the results. Plenty of penalties to take in. Scuba wins here from Amir in second. Matt Tibos has finished third from 17th. He's my driver of the day for that race, certainly. Casper in fourth, Bertier in fifth, Lewis in sixth, Pepe in seventh, Pete in eighth, Alan Kay in ninth. Race driver in 10th, Pashut in 11th, Clone in 12th, Mays in 13th, Marcos in 14th, Natural Toll finishing in 15th, Plaster in 16th, and he was the last one to finish. Good finishing order though, 16 finishers, which is good to see. Tioxe, Sean and Nino were the only 3 drivers not to complete and DNF'd out of this race. But Scuba out on top from Amir in second, Matt Tibos in third, going. So now, because we have got a little bit of break while we set up the new lobby, the next lobby, to eliminate any sort of connection issues, let me check through the comments. I will remain live here while we do this. So, not like Kieran McGinley, who does 2 streams. I like to do it one into another. But let's have a check at the comments, see what you guys have been saying in thingy. It's CPI, by the way, not CPL. It looks like it's CPL on the names. CPI, I will remember that. Thank you very much, Lewis. Well done, Matt and Bert and Timo as well. Amir tried to desync Scuba. Yeah, I think if that's the case, then it's quite unfair sportsmanship, if I've got to be honest. But that's only my perspective of things, and I know Amir's been on a 1 bar for me anyways, so that might come into thingy. Let me have a look at some more of the comments. Scuba got a penalty, I know. Scuba got a penalty, didn't try to desync anyone, guys, chill. And that is from Amir. Nexus is ready for Brazil. Nexus clone. And of course, following me after this will be number 1 of will be Mini League 1. VSR and the likes will be competing in that. I know a few that are competing in that as well, personally, from my league experience, so I wish everyone that is competing well in that. And I wish, of course, everyone well here as competing, as we are just, I think, getting prepared to set up the second lobby. I know I'm in charge here. Right. Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm in charge of this lobby, but I'm obviously not hosting the next lobby. So I do believe that'll be Alan Kay. Let's hope I don't spin this race. Lewis. Well done to Scuba. That back marker just killed me. That was Plaster, of course, who got on the way. Trying to cost Amir in the win. I think it did cost him the win in the end, if you look back at the timings, coming through the grandstand section, coming through the stadium section, onto the straight. Amir certainly had a decrease of lead compared to thingy, and I think there was a bit of contact as well in that incident as well. I do believe we are switching lobbies. In fact, we are switching lobbies because I've just got the invite through there. So join up the new lobby, and I've got the no name glitch. Absolutely brilliant. It just fixes itself though. Feel weird driving against TTG. Good racing from everyone. Yeah, very good racing from everyone, of course. And 25 people watching. I can only dream of commentating in front of 25 people on a live stream. But thank you, everyone, to every single one of you that is tuning in and showing us support here tonight for the TTG Mini League number 2. And as I said, Jack Fox will be in the commentary box after me, coming into Mini League 1. Let's have a look, though, at what is going on at the minute. I think we're just going to wait for people to join. I'm expecting us to start about 10 to, so obviously we've got a little bit of time until then. And don't worry, the stream hasn't gone down. If I go, I'm going to go for a drink, and I'll be back in a minute. We are back, or I am back. I think everyone is going to be joining up the session very, very soon. I think we're just trying to get the points maybe set up to the first race. Maybe they're having a look at the stewarding, of course. But just going to quickly check my comments and just have a look at what's been going on my thingy. Sorry about the blue screen, everyone. There we go, everyone's now coming in to start race number 2. Invites are being sent out now, I do believe. So we are, of course, into Brazil. Thank you, by the way, to the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm glad to see that you are enjoying the content that has been provided here for TTTV. And, of course, we'll be repeating Mini League 2 next week at the other 2 tracks, which are, of course, Canada and the USA. And that's what you'll be seeing after this. In League 1, Canada and the USA, 8:30 for Canada and 9:15 for USA. Of course, timings will change because we are running a little bit behind schedule here tonight in Mini League 2. So if you are one of those drivers that are racing in League 1, then good luck to everyone that is competing. Good luck to everyone that is competing in here, of course. As we see everyone now coming in. Good to see no new drivers, so I can actually commentate on everyone. And of course, one-shot quality and 25% with formation lap on. That is what we're going to be doing. And of course, 18 laps for Brazil. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens here tonight. And will Nexus have a fourth driver? I wonder. Now, I've been told that it is somebody that I know that is going to be racing for Nexus. That's what I've heard. I can't guarantee he's going to be racing, but that's what I've heard anyways. But of course, Scuba taking the win in Mexico, now into Brazil. And Scuba is back here to try and make a 2 out of 2 tonight, with Amir trying to hunt him down in second going into this. But of course, it is not about the drivers out on track. It is, of course, about the drivers out on track, I should say. But it is also about the teams and, of course, the points for each team. I think will be released either tonight or tomorrow, just to confirm. And hopefully we will be able to broadcast that in our coverage tomorrow on the TTTV channel, which I think is going to be involving either pre-season or one of the races for TTTV, TTL F1, if I recall. Everyone is here, by the way. 19 drivers are here. TTG Sean has joined in as well. I think now, unless we are waiting for anybody else, I think all the drivers are in. So, I mean, we can start the action very, very shortly. Of course, if you do want to try and, if you do want to ask me anything or ask me anything at all, then please put in the comments what you are going to be commenting about, and hopefully it is about. If it is my background of league racing commentary, just ask anything. I mean, keep it within reason, of course. Let's try and get the social aspect working. As now, I do believe all drivers are now readying up for the start. So race 2 is about to begin here in Brazil. And it is looking very, very nice indeed. As we're just waiting for the go-ahead to be given, I do believe. But we've got 7 out of 20 drivers readied up. And of course, no new names to mention about. So let me take you through the order once again of who is competing. So we've got Nexus Clone and Nexus Pursuit for the Nexus eSports team. We've got Amir, Birche, Amir of CPI, Birche of TMC, CF1V Natural Tour, Scuba of TMC, TTG Plaster, CPI Lewis, TTG Alan K, CF1V Marcos, Nino and Leroy for Nexus, Casper for CP1, for CPI I should say, Rest Driver, CF1V Tioxe, Matt Tibos, Maze, Peach, Sean, Pepe, and then there's me at the bottom, giving you commentary once again for round 2. And here we go, the Autodromo de Interlagos. Beautiful track this is, one of my favourite Formula 1 tracks. It is stunning, sensational. Elevation change around here is around 75 metres, I do believe. So it's about 140 feet, I think, the elevation changes around here. I could be totally making that up, but who knows. But we do have 20 drivers here, and I think Leroy was the only one that was missing last time. So Leroy is joining in for the second race here tonight for Nexus. And we have got all teams on 4 drivers. One-shot qualifying about to begin, and I think I'm going to place my bets on saying that Matt Tibos is going to go pole here. I think Lewis will get second, and I think Amir will get third. So that's a bit of a top 3 qualifying prediction from me. Of course, if you do want to get in touch, just let me know in the comments. Right, let's go on board with somebody that I can actually commentate on a lap round here. Hopefully Lewis will be able to do the bits. Here, let me have a look at the thingy. Let's go TMC, let's go Nexus. Plenty of support being around for those 2 esports teams. And of course to the others, CF1V, CPI and TTG. Good luck to everyone here in Brazil as we go into turn 1 with Lewis. And he's dropping down the order already, but of course plenty of changes. And I think I've picked the right person to be on board with here. Natural Tour's already out of the session. I think I've picked the right person to be on board with, because Lewis is now on top, Matt Tibos is second, Scuba third with Sean in behind. Pete just coming up a couple of places there. He did a good qualifying performance, of course, in Mexico. Lewis running up the hill. Matt Tibos in behind, Scuba in third. It is like old TFRL of old. And if you don't know what TFRL is, League I, of course, commentate on, which these three have been a part of. So, Lewis, Matt Tibos, and Scuba coming through. Beautiful camera, that is. Beautiful camera shot added to this track, where it's essentially a rail cam across the back end of the boards, of the Rolex boards. Lewis, though, coming into the final technical corner out on track, famously where Kimi Räikkönen ran off in 2012. Lewis coming up the hill, Matt Tibos, Scuba and Mia. I think my top three pretty much nearly going to be settled, I think. Lewis across the line, Matt Tibos, Scuba. Ooh, very close timings. Plenty of disconnects, plenty of disqualifications there, but Lewis on top. And I think for the first time ever when I've commented on a one-shot, I've got somebody that has got on pole, which is absolutely fantastic. So Lewis on top, Matt Tibos there in second place as we just wait for the grid to load up, just to confirm the order, of course. So Lewis in first, Matt Tibos in second. So Lewis on pole, Matt Tibos second, Scuba third, Amir fourth, Sean fifth, Pete sixth, Pursuit seventh, Clone eighth, Birchie ninth, Alan K 10th, Plaster 11th, and Marcos 12th. If you're not one of those 12 drivers, you have been disqualified from this one-shot qualifying. So that is Casper, Pepe, Tioxe, Natural Tour, Leroy, Mays, Race Driver, and Nino. So all of those at the bottom. It'll be interesting to see how Casper gets on from 13th place. He might be the one to watch, I think, in this race, as long as he doesn't get bounded up in any bit of contact early on, especially going through the S section and into turn 4. But as we prepare to load here for race 2 here in Brazil, my top 3 I think is pretty much what the top 3 is from qualifying. Scuba Lewis will will win. Matt Tibos second, Scuba I think will finish third. That could be in any order, I think, those three. Clearly quicker than everyone else in Mexico, and it'll be interesting to see how they both and how everyone gets on, of course, here in Brazil. Got the formation lap, so I can talk you through the strategies, and I do believe we've got the super softs, softs and mediums on offer for these for this race. 3 compound of tyres available here. Formation lap about to begin. There's the lights out and away we go on the formation lap, and Lewis, Matt Tibos and Scuba lead off the line. And of course, Amir, after that incident in Mexico, I think he's just got to be quite wary of his track limits, and in fact everyone's just got to be aware of their track limits, because this is quite a narrow track at the best of times, and if there's any one bit of contact it could cause a massive crash. And I don't want to be saying this, but if there is a massive crash, then this track really is the blame of it. Nino has not got started, I don't think. He is nowhere to be seen. Hopefully no desync going on there from the Welshman. Lewis, though, leads them out on the formation lap. And let's have a look at the tyre strategies, actually. Most opting for super softs and softs. Top 10 on super softs. Everyone else, apart from Casper, Leroy, Rest Driver and Nino, on a set of softs. Everyone else on a set of supers. That is 16, so that's Lewis, Matt, Scuba, Amir, Sean, Pete, Pursuit, Clone, Birchie, Alan K, Plaster, Marcos, Pepe, Tioxe, Natural Tour and Maze. All 16 of those are on super softs, the rest of course on softs. Natural Tour, the only one to be disqualified from the session, and Nino definitely hasn't got started from that he must have been going too slow or something, because he's just stuck there on the grid in the Williams. Oh, sorry, that's Natural Tour, I should say. Sorry, that's Natural Tour that is stuck on the grid. As we all formate up, I'm not sure what has happened to Nino. I'm not sure if we're going to be waiting quite a lot amount of time for him. No, we're not. Nino, oh dear. There's been a decent going on. Nino is at the back, I think. 5 red lights are about to go out here in Brazil. And it is lights out and away we go. Very slow start from Matt Tibos there. He's being swamped by Amir down the inside. And now Lewis into turn 1 will lead the way from Scuba and Amir. Of course, there is a decent going on with Nino, so do appreciate that. Oh, and a bit of contact, bit of decent going on. That was Clone and Pursuit, I think, having a little bit of contact. Lewis and Scuba, though, running down, and they're clear. Amir, sure, Matt Tibos has had an absolute shocker of a start. Everyone is pretty much clean through. Nino has got started, I think he's got started. As far as I'm aware, he's got started. But Lewis leads, Scuba second. There's a bit of action going on between Clone and Birche further down the field in the mid-pack as they run through. Of course, this is quite a short, snappy sort of race, this is. And Birche trying to close in on Clone as we'll see the position changes. Lewis has not gained position, of course, keeping the lead from Scuba. Mia is up 1, Sean's up 1, Matt Tibos is down 3. Everyone else, little gains compared to what we saw from Matt Tibos in Brazil. Nino has definitely desynced or something. I'm not sure what has happened there. But running down the straight, let's go run on board shot with Matt Tibos on the back of Sean. Trying to go for the move into turn 1. He's closing up, Could he go for the move here? Matt Tibos, no, oh, Sean, just a little bit too deep into the corner, nearly outbroke himself. And of course, there is the decent going on for Nino. I do apologise about that. Hopefully, it does fix itself in these next 17 laps. As we see side-by-side action, Pursuit and Pete going side-by-side. Clone trying to get on the action as well. Little bit of wheel banging. Pursuit down the inside on Pete, forces him wide. And Pete has had to go miles off track and he's losing all sorts of positions. He rejoins past Birchie, I think. Down the inside, Pete, he hangs on to 8th after that rejoin. So Birchie just forced out of things by now. Casper on the back of him. And we see, once again, that little mid-pack battle start to develop. A little bit of a train from Pursuit all the way down, really, developing. But Lewis is leading, has got the break on Scuba, trying to make it 2 in a row. Matt Tibos has now closed back up to Sean, and he's trying to go for the move into the final corner. Not quite. Pursuit and Clone in behind. Everyone else getting held up, and the top 5 are now breaking away. Lewis, there's Matt Tibos, not close enough, I don't think, for a move. He's now running around 207 mile an hour under the brakes, 204 under the brakes there. Clone and Pursuit trying to change positions. Clone up the inside, gets the move done. Pursuit now into 7th place. Peter right on the back as well. Not sure if there was a little bit of contact behind Birchie, just losing a little bit of time, but here comes Pete on Pursuit. He's got DRS in the open, nobody don't think gonna go for a move. Pete into the back of Pursuit there on the brakes. Little bit of contact, not sure if there was front wing damage. Matt Tibos down the inside on Sean. Beautiful move. Matt Tibos running up the hill into turn 6. Beautiful move on Matt. And he's got the move done, sorry, turn 5 I should say. Matt Tibos has got the move done on Sean and he is up to P4 and he's now beginning to try and close in on Amir. So currently Lewis leading. Scuba's trying to keep him honest though, 6 tenths behind. Amir 3rd, Matt Tibos 4th. As we see Birchie and Pete. Birchie trying to go all the way around the outside of Pete. Surely not. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely brilliant. I think Pete dropping down the order. He must have damage again. And I think it's the right side end plate. If anyway, it's the left side end plate I should say. Plasto now on Marcos. Side by side. Oh, goodness me. Is Pete coming in the pits? Yes, he is. That was a little bit dangerous. Plaster, I thought was going to get tagged there. Running down the straight, Plaster. Alan Kane, Leroy getting in the back line as well. Both are breaking nearly into the back of those two. And in front, Marcos has completed the move though on Plaster. Plaster now down the inside on him. Ooh, goodness me. It's all getting a little bit too close. It's all getting too close for the lead as well. 4 tenths of a second. But Plaster on Marcos, trying to go for the move. Marcos keeps it around the outside, and that's Alan Kane. There's a spinner. That is Alan Kane. Bit of a spin. I think he dived it down the inside there on Plaster, and he's got tagged, possibly by Leroy. I'm not sure what went on there. Difficult to tell by the camera angle. That happened out on track. But major things going on here. But Lewis, Scuba lead the way. So let's go back on board with the lead where we are a little bit safer, and we know where positions and who's in what position. But Lewis leads the way. Scuba second. Everyone now down into the rest of them. So all spread out between 1st and 8th really. Not really enough room to close down the straight. Scuba just maintaining the ERS quite nicely there. 57% under the brakes, now getting into about 62. Lewis is running 36, so about double the amount, just under double the amount of ERS running from Lewis compared to Scuba. Scuba running more ERS compared to Lewis, I should say. Amir and Thermat Tibos in fourth, not getting really any closer. Not much happening on further down the field. Birche could be coming close to Pursuit, running up the hill. Closing in on the brakes, but not really much, losing a 10th coming through the corner. Casper trying to chase down as well. So three-way battle for 7th. Beginning to heat up. Alan K and Tioxe having a bit of a move as well. Nino again, bit of a desync going on. It's a shame that we've put in this new lobby only to eliminate pretty much everything, and then obviously this has happened. You couldn't really write this, but Nino is down at the back. I can assure you he's down at the back. Scuba now tries to close in on Lewis. On the inside line, Lewis has got too much. Amir and Matt Tibos. Matt Tibos is in. So Matt Tibos is into the pits. There he comes in. Birche and Pursuit getting quite close here for 7th and 8th. Trying to go around the outside. Birche, TMC around the outside. Birche, and I think he's got the move done. Oh no, there's contact. Pursuit's contacted him on the rear end. Pursuit, I think, I must have outbroke himself there. Into the final, into the first corner. And he's contacted Birche. He might need to give that position back, actually. Running up the hill. Lewis and Scuba will try and provide you with as much action as we can out on track. Matt Tibos, I think, is going to be coming out ahead of Natural Tour. He is. He's going to be coming out ahead of Natural Tour. Looking on the left-hand side of your screen. Lewis, Scuba leading the way at the minute. Running through very nicely indeed. And Scuba and Lewis, 0.6 of a second. Amir there in the background, hunting through as well. Matt Tibos, Pete and Nino have all pitted for one stop. Natural Tour, I think, just picked up a 3-second time penalty then. Is losing time predictably as Scuba's in. The Irishman is in from 2nd place, out on track. Amir has followed him in as well. That must have been a quite late pit stop from him. And there's plenty of action coming on. Clone into the pits. Birche is into the pits. Casper continues. I think Leroy might be coming in as well with Marcos. Possibly. They are going past them, in fact, down the straight. And it's all just spread itself out a little bit. We can't really definitely say one battle as I try and go through. Let's keep an eye on Plaster and Race Driver, because Scuba's just going to be coming out ahead of behind these. And Amir. And there's Matt Tibos. Trying to get Amir around the outside. Not quite. And he's 1 second off. So everyone just spreading themselves out a little bit. Race Driver on the back of Plaster is the closest battle out on track. Tioxe getting close to Clone out the pits. Oh! What the hell happened there? Oh my god! What the hell has happened there? It's almost as if there was a brick wall in front of him. Race Driver out the race. What on earth has happened there? There was no contact at all. It's so unfortunate. Desync, I think, has happened. Either glitching barrier or something. Race Driver out the race. That is really, really strange. It's probably one of the strangest crashes I might have ever seen. Lewis is into the pit. Sean's into the pits. Pursuit and Casper are coming in as well. No, Casper's going to continue for another lap, and he will be out in front. And of course, he is on the soft compound of tyres, so we'll probably get to around lap 10 and lap 11, I do expect, on those tyres. But what a strange crash that was. The only crash in the race. Race Driver out. Really, really strange crash indeed. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Don't think I've seen a crash like it, to be honest. That was unreal. And do you know what? In fact, if I take it back, TF Royal A-League had one of these scenarios back in the thingy earlier on this season, and it was the same crash as what we've literally just seen there. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, Pepe is getting close to Nino, I think. There's Nino ahead. That is definitely not 1 minute and 29 seconds behind. So surely some sort of desync going on, and he can't even see him out on track. Nino has gone wide. What on earth is happening? Nino can see all of this happening, I think. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyways, back to the action, and we've got a 3-wheel battle for third. Marcos, Lewis, Scuba trying to close in as well. Lewis is going up the inside on Marcos there. In the foreground of shot. Scuba now going down the inside as well. There on the brakes. Beautiful move that is from Scuba. Both on the soft compound of tyres, and they run through nicely indeed. And the Irishman trying to close up to the Brit. CPI Lewis against Scuba. Casper leading the way. Leroy in second could play a bit of part into that. Hopefully we don't see any back markers get in the way, like we did with Plaster, who's doing a much better job of things. Race driver leaves the session after his absolutely ridiculously terrible crash. Not sure what happened. Absolutely strange as hell. Yellow flag in sector 2. What has happened there? Natural Tour is off at the same point as race driver. So Natural Tour is off. Clone and Pursuit though battling down the field. And I think Clone got past Pursuit there, if I recall. Birchie trying to go deep into the corner to try and get the best run out there. Amia's getting quite close to Marcos, running down the straight. But let's focus on the battle for the lead, because this is the battle for the net lead, I should say. Leroy, Lewis, Casper's in. Amia's gone past Marcos in the background. It should be Scuba down the inside on Leroy here. Similar move. Beautiful. Really nice stuff. And Amir and Matt Tibos are getting going. So that's third and fourth. And Amir, in fact, I think has got past Matt Tibos. We have missed that. Amir has got past Matt Tibos. There's a yellow flag. I think Natural Toll might be off again. It's not Natural Toll. Oh, it's Pursuit. Pursuit has got off. And that is... where the hell is that? Oh, that's on the straight. Oh, and he's retired. Has he had contact with somebody? Has he had contact with somebody? I'm not sure with that. I couldn't really commit to that because we are obviously focusing on the battle for the lead, which is Lewis and Scuba for the lead of the race. Leroy is currently in third and out of position. He's got to come into the pits, of course. But Lewis leading the way on Scuba, first and second at the minute, 0.5 of a second, and both of these look very, very on the pace and look around the same here tonight. And Lewis, Scuba as we approach lap 11. Lewis and Scuba running down the straight. That's Amir getting close down, I think, by Matt Tibos there in the background. Leroy is finally came into the pits. 11 laps on those set of softs, so nice job there by Leroy. I was going to say nice job there by Lewis, but of course nice job by Lewis because he's leading the way. Scuba second. Let me have a look at your comments. Let's see what's going on in the comment section. Someone crashed into Nino. I do believe that might have been somebody. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 and sector 3. I think it's Natural Tour. It is Natural Tour, and he is struggling again. Might just have to retire from the race. Teox and Nino having a bit of a battle further down. Let's see these two. Teox has gone past Nino. Oh, Nino's got no front wing. So Nino has got no front wing. So was that the contact then with Pursuit, possibly? I'm not sure. And Nino is stopping out on track, it seems. He's into the pits. What? How's he into the pits when he's going around on my screen like that? Really strange. Anyways, back to the battle for third. Amir, Matt Tibos. Let's get back into this. Amir and Matt Tibos. Nino randomly into the pits when he's going around out on track, which is just really strange. But Matt Tibos closing in on Amir. We start lap 12 out of 18. We are, in fact, on lap 13 out of 18. We've got 6 laps to go. Lewis leading the way, Scuba second, but as you can see by the helicopter cam, Scuba's picked up a 3-second time penalty, and Matt Tibos now closing in on Amir. Birchie also closing in on Clone, running down the straight. We could see him overtake. Round the outside, Birchie! Round the outside, Birchie! Round the outside, beautiful move, and he's got Clone. Really nice move there by the Force India. The Dutchman is up to 6th. Lovely move, and now Casper's trying to follow in as well. Casper, horrible camera shot, just coming across him there, Clone a little bit, and he's trying to go all the way around the outside of Birchie. Surely not. He's round back limits a little bit. Birchie down the inside, Clone up the on the inside now. Birchie on the left-hand side of the screen as you look. Clone down the inside, beautiful racing, and Clone's got back past Birchie. Brilliant driving between those two, and Casper is trying to pick up the pieces as well, and he's leaning into the back of Birchie a little bit. Tiny bit of contact on the rear end there. Nothing to unsettle the car though, and they all settle down once again. Clone, Birchie, maybe the best piece of racing that we've seen, one-on-one combat that we've seen all night, and it's still going on as Matt Tibos tries to get Amir down into turn 1. Not quite. Nino was decent for the stream, which is a shame. It really is a shame, and I think we've had a problem with this before when we've done TTGaming McKinley. He did one of these before. Birchie around the outside. Oh, Clone into into the back of him a little bit. Clone now around the outside of Birchie. It's just getting a little bit too aggressive. Casper trying to pick up the pieces. He's on a set of super softs. He's on the quicker tie. He's just sitting waiting. He's waiting. He's waiting. Clone and Birchie. Yellow flag in sector 2. Is that one of the leaders, perhaps? It's not one of the leaders. Is it Sean? No. It must be someone. Oh, it might be Chioxe. Might be Chioxe down the field. So there's the yellow flag in sector 2, unless it's Nexus Nino. As Chioxe has retired from the session, so that might have been him. And I think it was. There he is, in fact. I'm pretty sure that's him. Going round slow in front. These guys have got to be very, very careful if it is. That is Nino, I think, going round in front of them. So these guys just got to be careful a little bit. Matt Tibos still on the back of Amir. Let's watch this battle for 3rd and 4th. Lap 14 out of 18, Lewis leads by 1.5 seconds and seems to have got the measure of Scuba at the minute. Amir in 3rd, Matt Tibos in 4th, looking very nicely indeed in behind. Birchie and Clone again round the outside of him. And there's oh my bloody hell! What on earth? What on earth's going on here? Is it 3 wide out of turn 3? It could be 4 wide. Birchie, Clone, Casper, Nexus, Leroy, it's 3 wide, certainly. Down the inside, and the Clone is just getting a little bit too aggressive. It's 3 wide, nearly up the hill. They're forcing each other off. Oh, it's going to be tit for tat. Birchie and Clone, I think, back off quite wisely. Casper around the outside on Clone. Trying to get the move done. And he comes across him. Clone comes across him as Casper into the back end of him there, perhaps. A little bit of front wing might have came off. Matt Tibos and Amir back to this action, though. For 3rd. Not really a battle at the minute. He's not really closing in much. But 4 laps to go. Lewis leads the way. Scuba 2nd, Amir 3rd, Matt Tibos in 4th. 4 laps to go. As Nexus Needle apparently is in 10th place out on track. No, he's not. So that's obviously a bit of a thingy. Please give me the position that he is in. That would be much appreciated. As Casper has gone past Clone, though, down the straight. Outbreaks himself. Clone around the outside now. In the Mercedes. Just pushing him off track a little bit, Casper. Now Birchie can come in this. The TMC driver. Nexus, CPI and Birchie. For TMC. Trying to close in. He's just going to settle in behind. And Clone is going to defend the position of Casper. Or is he? Casper's trying to go around the outside. He's going to try and cut inside now on the set of supers. Not quite happening for him running up the hill, and it's not quite going to happen for him there either. Birchie could try and get the move done, but nothing happening there. As we see Amir and Matt Tibos now. And is that Scuba ahead of them? It is Scuba ahead of them, who has dropped off Lewis and is starting to come back to these two. So now, on to the 3rd last lap. Lap 16 out of 18. Lewis leads the way. Scuba in 2nd, Amir in 3rd. Matt Tibos getting very close to the back end there of Amir's car in the Red Bull. Goodness me. So Lewis, Scuba, Amir, Matt Tibos, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th at the minute. And Casper and Clone as well. Casper going around the outside of Clone. Bit of the yo-yo going on. Clone, sorry, down the inside on him. Casper will defend the position that time. Good driving. Birchie's just sitting tight in behind. Maybe waiting for a mistake. He's picked up a 3-second time penalty coming out of turn 3 there. And Clone trying to go around the outside again. Now into turn 4. And he's got him round the outside. Beautiful move by the Mercedes man. And he is up into 7th place. Good 3-way battle though going on between these 3. Clone, Casper and Birchie putting on a show for everyone out on track. As we approach the final 2 laps of the race, Lewis will lead them on to lap 17 with a 2.3 second gap from Scuba. That gap has just extended now to Amir, who is a further 2nd behind, and Matt Tibos is in 4th, trying to close in. Could he? No, he doesn't. And that is not Sean on the back of them. That is Natural Tour, I do believe, on the back of them there. Thrilling action though happening out on track. And of course, Mini League 1 will be, of course, after this race, as we will come into this. And Casper closing in on Clone again, round the outside. Clone down the inside, and he's got him this time. He's got the measure of him this time, or has he? Casper down the inside again, round the outside. Oh! Very close to contact there. Birchie on the back, trying to close in the Force India. He wants to try and put an opportunistic move around the outside on Casper, and he's trying it. Bircher trying it around the outside. But he has to give room to Casper, who had the run down the inside line. And he keeps the position for now as we are approaching the final lap of the race very quickly. I can't believe this race is already over. I'm going to see more of this. Lewis, 3.1 seconds out in front from Scuba. Is starting to get a little bit close there for Amir and Matt. But not quite. Birch's just lost a little bit of time now on Casper. Sean and Leroy have had a very, very canny race in 5th and 6th. We are now on to the final lap. And a three-way battle, and my voice is starting to go. 3-second time penalty for Matt Tibos. He cut the inside there at turn 2. But I think this is the only real opportunity, apart from the main straight, that people can get move done, and there's not going to be any moves done there at all. But Lewis, 3.1 seconds. He's got the measure of Scuba. Hopefully there's no time penalties for these four, because these four have really been a class. And I mean a class above the rest. Matt Tibbles down the inside on Amir very late. Very brash, very bold. He's going around the outside on him now. Amir comes back across him. And that was very unexpected. And there's contact. Predictable contact there. And Matt Tibbles, I think, giving a helping hand to him there. He might be on a different team, but say hey-ho. And he's going to let him through. Good sportsmanship there by Matt Tibbles. He put him right. And as we approach the line, Lewis is going to be winning here. He's easing the car down. Lewis is going to win here in Brazil. Lewis takes it for CPI. Scuba in second across the line, 2.4 seconds away. Amir will be third. Matt Tibos in fourth, and only a tenth off Amir from second. Sean will come across the line in fifth. Nexus Nino, by the way, came across the line in 17th because Natural Tour has gained on him. Sean across the line. Leroy now across the line. Interesting battle. That battle's still going between Clone and Casper. We'll come on board now with these three. Clone, Casper and Birche. Coming across the line. He could get him. Casper is closing in. Oh! Nearly on the line, but it was a 3-second time penalty more. Birche across the line and behind. Pepe is 10th. Pete 11th. Marcos across the line in 12th. Mays in 13th. Alan Plaster, in 14th. And Alan Kay is coming around the final corner now to finish in 15th place. And not many penalties gained in that race, which was great to see. Alan Kay across the line in 15th. But my God, what a race that was. And Mini League 2 really getting going. We're halfway through. And after Brazil and Mexico, after Mexico and Brazil tonight, I've got to say, brilliant racing between every single driver out on track. Even if you didn't have the luck, even if you didn't have the race mentality and whatever, you certainly give it a go, and everyone gets points in the end, which I think is the best result that anyone could hope for. But obviously the team standings will come up after this. But in the meantime, Lewis has taken his win here in Brazil. He betters Scuba and destroys him of that two-timer tonight. The Irishman finishing second, and then in third was the triumphant Amir, who finished third, drove well. Matt Tibos gave him a helping hand. Maybe he shouldn't have given that helping hand in the end because it cost him a 3-second time penalty. Sean has finished in 5th. Leroy from 17th into 6th. Good performance from him for Nexus. Clone as well in 7th. Good battles going on between him, Casper and Birche. That was thrilling to watch. Casper across the line in 8th. Birche in 9th. Pepe in 10th. Pete in 11th, Marcos 12th, Mays in 13th, Plaster in 14th, Ellen K in 15th, Natural Tour 16th. Good to see Nexus Nino going. Obviously, we had a bit of a desync on my end. Tioxe, Pursuit, and Race Driver were the three not to finish. And Race Driver, of course, I'm not sure what happened to him, and I think it can only be blamed on the game. But that is everything complete here tonight for Mini League 2, and I shall now make way for Nexus Jack Fox, who will be streaming Mini League 1 in about 10 minutes time. So good luck to all of those guys. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you to all the drivers that have produced us some thrilling action out on track tonight. Thank you very much though for watching, and until next time, next week I'll be here. It is Canada and USA. Goodbye.